Japan is commonly known as the birthplace of drifting. Competitions were first popularised in Japan in the 1970s and further popularised by the 1995 manga series Initial D. It then became popular among street racers, using the mountain passes of Japan to practice on, and it soon grew into an organised form of motorsport. Fast forward to 2008 and the inaugural season of the British Drift Championship, the UK's premier drift series, which is now in its 11th season in 2019. Drifting competitions are now held worldwide and are judged according to the speed, angle and line taken through a set of corners marked by clipper points. We caught up with Lwi Edwards, the new 2019 BDC Pro-Am champion, to talk about drifting, his journey to winning the championship and his future plans in his career.
For Louis' 16th birthday present, I thought, well, I'd treat him to like a one-to-one drift experience. So I just paid for a one-to-one experience, and that was going to be it, really. But he basically nailed all. He sort of, got the car control perfect. He driven it like he'd been in it for a long time. That was the turning point, actually, because that was his happy place, as I always call it. So, from there on, that was history. But that was only 2 years ago. My plan was always to go to Ireland. I didn't think we'd get in the BDC, and I'd been in touch with Ireland because he was still only 16 at the time. I got in touch with the Irish guys and managed to get an entry, which is not easy. You have to sort of jump through hoops, even to get your name on the list, to get an invite to go to Ireland, to do the Irish license. You have to do a drift license in Ireland. BDC came along because he got an invite, because he got his drift games license. The attempt to qualify for BDC, and if they qualify in the first round of BDC, then you can do the championship of BDC. They've all got the invite, you may as well try. So that took us into the BDC. So this year, we've run Louis in both the 6th round of the BDC and 4 rounds of the Irish.
Round 1, I just went to qualify. That was the main thing. Didn't expect to, get much further than that. But as long as I qualified, that was the main thing. When I made it to top 8 in the first round, I kind of thought, maybe I could do quite well. And then a couple of rounds after that, kept on getting top 8 after top 8, but couldn't get any further. And then, in Three Sisters, that was my first podium. I think I qualified first there as well, didn't I? Qualified first and got to 3rd place on the podium. No, I qualified first. I did qualify first. Because he tried to and then didn't. So that was my first podium, and then did the same at Buxton. Qualified quite high and got into 3rd place on the podium. And that gave me the championship win by 1 point.
And who has took the podium? Let's go to a shot. Let's have a look on the screen. Who is your 2019 champion? By 1 point, Lwi Edwards is the 2019 Pro-Am champion!
The format of competition drifting has several stages. Competitors are allowed a practice session to hone their line, set up their car and learn the track before progressing into the qualifying stage. In qualifying, competitors will aim to complete a predefined course laid out by the judges, while sticking as closely to the judged criteria as possible. They earn points for proximity to the clipping points marked out on the course, their speed throughout the course and the amount of style in which they do so. Slowly cruising round with a lack of commitment will get marked down, whereas a fast, intense run with lots of flair and aggression will gain more points. Running a perfect qualifying line will earn the maximum 100 points, and top spot in qualifying, which can benefit drivers when it comes to the battles. The drivers now go head-to-head in battles, with one driver leading and the other driver chasing the leader. They then swap and repeat the battle. The drivers still follow the qualifying line, but are now also judged on their proximity to each other, while still being judged on line, speed and style. The winner then progresses to the next stage, while the loser is knocked out of the competition. The battles then continue to the top 16 drivers, then the Great 8, Final 4, and then onto the podium, where a winner will be crowned. Lwi and his team's next target is to win the Pro Class of the BDC, and then progress into the European Drift Masters Series, the pinnacle of drifting in Europe.
But like I said, it's a journey it's a new journey that's just started, and then 2020 is going to be journey into the pros. Then we're hopefully looking for some companies to get involved with us to help us out, because this is not just going to be a small journey. This is a journey into Europe, I think, in the next couple of years for Lwi. So yeah, it's big things to come, I think.